Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Corp Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by the man that drinks the blood of the innocent. It's Mikey G. Wolf V3. Hello, Mikey.
Innocence is a relative term, and I don't really like this pigeonholing of my morals.
I'm not really pigeonholing you. I'm just letting the people know. I'm warning them. They need to fear the blood-sucking Mikey.
No, they just need to accept that sometimes you get your blood sucked.
That's true. And I don't mean you're like a vampire. I mean you're like a mosquito.
Yeah,
that's more appropriate.
You're not going to die.
No, or get turned into another creature. You just, can have a little... it's like having a little kiss. It's a little Mikey kiss. The difference is the little kiss is just a little loss of blood. Yeah.
Longer.
Yeah.
Deeper.
It's an interesting image of Mikey scooped over somebody's bed. You're just slowly draining someone with a long tube coming out of your mouth.
Hang on, that's a Star Trek reference. Don't you be bringing those in here.
I wasn't intending a Star Trek reference. Which was the reference? I wasn't saying...
The one where Date is having his dream for the first time, and his Pepto-Bismol cake, and was it Worf was... Worf was cutting the
It was Crusher drinking from Riker's head.
Yeah, and Worf was cutting the Troy cake.
Yes. That was always a weird one. It didn't even look like a good cake. I think that was the most egregious thing. It didn't look delicious. I didn't think it looked delicious anyway. But here, Mikey, we're here to talk about Transformers this week, believe it or not.
Robots!
Yeah, we weren't here last week, but we're here now, and we've got stuff to talk about, so we may as well jump right into it, as people say on the internet. Mikey, let me tell you about the first of our train-themed things that we're going to talk about today. We have two. A whole two stories, yeah.
Choo-choo, motherfucker.
It's a theme. Moon Studios, as we know, are doing the Trainbots, the unofficial third-party one, obviously. They've shown off coloured prototypes of guys I think we've talked about before. It's Dark Knight, who's Getsui, and MSO2. It's MSO1, Getsui, and MSO2 Iceland, two separate words, not Iceland, the supermarket or the place, and it's Yuki Kaze. So these ones are all coloured up, got pretty images of them. Not actually dynamic poses for either of them, but we have them in train mode, on train tracks, we have them in robot mode, and we have them in foot mode as well, because everybody likes feet in this day and age, it seems. Mikey, how do you think they look coloured? This is the blue one, if you're wondering, with the flat nose, and the white and green one with the not flat nose. I don't know what
it's a bullet train. It's the bullet train.
It's a lame bullet train, but yes.
No. Or it's an express train of some sort. Anyway, all bullet trains are lame. Bitch!
Oh my god.
I don't know where that came from, but yeah, I think they look really good in all honesty. They're also huge.
What's the size of these?
So, in foot mode, they come up to MP10 shoulders. And I mean, under the smokestacks. I found a picture here. I'll send you the picture.
How big are they in robot mode, then?
I think they're taller.
Oh, jeez. I guess that makes sense. They'd have to be, wouldn't they?
I saw... This is from T-Formers, but I can't find the specific story at the moment, so...
Oh my god.
So, T-Formers, you failed me, and I think you failed yourself.
Oh my god. Oh, they are big. Jesus.
As I say that, I find it. Let me just... Yeah, robot mode, they're head-to-head with MP10.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, they're fairly sizable then. Yeah, definitely.
They are going to be quite a bit larger than another toy we're looking at later on.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I think that's a good thing or a bad thing.
No, it is simply a thing. But yeah, they're big. They're quite big. The paint jobs look really good. I think the sculpt's looking solid. I think it's quite well done how much they've managed to disguise the fact these are at least transformation-wise identical. If not simply they're not quite retools of each other, but they're very, very close to being just full retools.
I suppose it's a wise idea to do something like that, isn't it? Since they are they're basically
and that's
a rectangle that transforms into a similar body size.
That's the way the Trainbots are.
Is it? I've never handled the Trainbots, and I've never seen the Trainbots handled.
The limbs are symmetrical.
Are they? Okay.
Pretty much. They're not identical, but they're like, functionally identical. Whereas then you have the torso and the waist as separate dudes. I think the ankle tilt is really cool on the foot mode. Like, really solid looking ankle tilt. Overall, I think they look pretty impressive, in all honesty. No, I'm surprised, actually. I didn't expect these guys to look this good.
Oh, how did you expect? Do you expect them to look shit? Is that what you're saying, Mikey?
Just kind of, in all honesty.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
One thing I don't like is that it looks like they're only coming with curved track. And while I get the logic of that, and you can go woo woo and have your trains go around in circles, I think this would look visually better for a display as a straight track.
What if the other ones come with straight parts as well?
That would be cool. Fill out
because it'd be nice if you didn't just get the same train track part. Maybe like the next two arms will have two straight parts. Yeah,
I'd find it a bit disappointing. It was just like the same part repeated 6 times.
Yeah, because otherwise, then it'd just be a lame circle. It can't be. We don't see the. At least they're getting tracks, because do you remember back a while ago we were like, they're probably not getting train tracks, are they?
I think it's just that they're so big relative to the tracks. It's not exactly like you can have them go around in a circle and like, oh man, this is at least like stupid child cool. It's just like, well, they can't move.
Are we still sure that these aren't just like Lego train tracks, though?
As far as I'm aware, they are coming with it.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. So if Mikey's wrong,
I blame Andy.
Oh wow! No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not too thrilled with them, to be honest. At least in robot mode, and I think that's probably just because of the design of the robot rather than anything that Moon Studios is doing. They look like background GoBots to me.
GoBots.
Background ones, like not even ones you'd have in the foreground, like Leader 1. They're very, very generic robot looking. One of them legit has just the Optimus Prime helmet, but without the faceplate. And visually, they're not very striking either. They're quite flat on the colours. But again, that's not a problem with the Moon Studios. That's just an issue with whoever designed the Trainbots back in the day, I suppose. Otherwise, they come across well. They look like they form 2 good solid feet, which is great. And some decent train modes, so, can't complain about that, I suppose. It's just I find the robot modes dreadfully dull. I suppose most people will be buying this for riding, probably more so than the individual robots.
I would say it's fair to say the Trainbots are not exciting-looking people.
Yeah, do you think they fall into the aerial bot category?
A bit. I think one of the I do think it's one of those things, like, it's where G1... never, especially for characters who haven't been updated in a long time. It's just like, hey, we're basically trying to do the Headmaster's model. Cool.
In terms of what?
In terms of visual, the cartoon model.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay,
and it's just like, maybe we could modernize a few bits and bobs.
But then it wouldn't be G1 then, so that's not going to happen.
I mean, how do I say this delicately? Good!
No, to be fair, there isn't enough in its defense. There aren't a huge amount of Raidens to pick from. So I guess it's good to keep a pure G1 version.
And it's not like they were the most fleshed out characters as well. So it's not like they can really rely on. It's a weird thing to see such a strictly Japanese concept marketed towards the Western audience.
Yeah, I suppose it's to stand out and be different, right? Because they've mined everything else, so it's what else we got?
I will say, looking at cartoon models, they look better than the cartoon model, actually. But hey, for anyone who hasn't seen it, because I heard a podcast this week where someone was talking about, I really want to sit down and watch Headmasters because I've never seen it. I'm just like, oh no, it's the one you can skip.
Just watch Rebirth.
Watch Rebirth. Go on to Master Force and Victory. You'll be fine. Yeah. You don't need to see Headmasters. It's fine.
You don't. You can do, but
Raiden is not served well by it.
I'm trying to think of if there's any value to watching Headmasters at all. I don't remember there being an interesting story.
No.
I don't think any of the characters who you see the Headmasters do anything again desperately interesting. It's just I think it's legit worse than just G1 in terms of how you always complain about the writing in G1 and I go it's 80s kind of fluff. 80s fluff is better than a really bad sequential story or however they tried to tell a story that's just flat and there's nothing to it, and it doesn't feel like there was any stakes in Headmasters, and there never was.
No, I'm trying to think, like, first 20 or so episodes of Headmasters is just sort of spinning their wheels until Rodimus and crew leave, and then Galvatron disappears.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It takes a while for it to get going.
Zarek shows up.
Yes.
No, he's Scorponok, isn't it? Yeah, Scorponok and then Mega Zarek.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
And then Fortress gets, the Fortress Maximus mode.
Mm-hmm. And
then it's just, again, kind of spinning its wheels until a generic Doomsday plot. And then, and Six Shot kills Ultra Magnus and gets the Redemption arc, which is like 3 episodes.
Yeah. And
then a lot of characters appear, like it's the only appearance of the Monster Bots in animation.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Beast formers are in it, and double punch counter punches in it, I believe. Yeah, he is. Although he's super boring.
And he's super. Same for the clones as well. They're in, but not much more than they are in Rebirth, really. Yeah,
and like they're really boring because again they just do punch counter punches. Like it's punch in disguise. The least interesting way of doing punch counter punch.
At least with Master Force, there was it was a generic through story, but there was a bit more to it.
Yeah, and
it does have its lulls, obviously, but still.
Obviously, but I found the characters overall likable. I found the action fairly well done.
They're much more interesting as well. They actually do stuff,
and like it's a different premise. Like it's a much more Japanese premise.
Yes. Which could be off-putting for some people, depending on,
And then Victory is a Brave series in all but name.
I'd say a boring Brave series, to be fair.
I wouldn't say it, it's a proto-Brave series.
It's no Gao Gai Ga, let's be honest.
No, as Jobby the Hong has found out in the last couple of weeks.
Hooray!
Has been fun to watch, honestly, watching him go like, I'm 30 episodes in, oh my god, get to the end of final, why am I crying?
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Here's a question, have you seen X Kaiser, Mikey?
Not in a long time. I was actually thinking about doing kind of a Brave rewatch.
See, I was going to ask if it was better than Victory in terms of its writing. I imagine it probably would be, right?
I think it's a bit better because I think it had who was the writer on that? Because I know the designer was the same guy from Victory.
Which, that makes sense.
Yeah, and he also did a lot of early design work for Gundam. Written by, you say, I know that name, Yasushi Hirano. What have you done? I know your name.
I still think someone needs to get the rights. Like Hasbro need to get the rights to do Dino Geist.
Yeah,
and bring him into Transformers.
Yeah,
and actually made the rest of the Dinobots into the other Geists as well. Because they were cool design, Dino Geist. Great. If people haven't seen Dino Geist,
they could combine as well. They had they had 2-part combiner forms.
Did they? Oh, they like Dash, Tackle, and Mac.
Yeah. I'll get you a picture of them, the Dino Geists.
Okay.
Because they all had combiner forms. Because it was Dino Geist. Apollo it was Apollo Geist, wasn't it? The main one.
I thought no. The main one's just called Dino Geist, as far as I remember.
I'm trying to remember.
The one that was Super Grimlock, as I used to call him.
Yeah, because there's Armor Geist, Terror Geist, Horn Geist, and Thunder Geist, and then Dino Geist is the main bad guy, and then the next series had Red Geist, who was the Deathsaurus reuse. Let me see. There is a picture here of the combined form. And then you get into like Shadowmaru and stuff. You're like, for anyone who doesn't know, Brave didn't just come from the Transformers stable. It reused a lot of Transformers toys, reshelling them. Where is this? Talk amongst yourselves.
What do you mean? Ourselves? It's just me here.
You and the voices in your head have a chat while I try to find this.
That's pretty. Oh, you found it?
Yep. I mean, I never said they were great combining forms. I should say.
I mean. Yeah, well, they weren't toys even.
Because they'd combine 1 and 2 together, and then they had a combiner form, and that is this lovely fella here. If I can get this going,
Mikey's attempting.
Mad Geist.
Was he angry?
He looks it.
Oh, that's all right. There's a few too many heads just everywhere on it.
If I remember right, the story is it's not like a Transformers. It's literally 4 guys who are stuck together in one body and don't really get how it works.
Yeah, that's how it looks. As there are just heads everywhere on it. Okay. Yeah. Mikey, do you want to take us on to the next story?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. This is one we actually missed, but I thought it was kind of cool, so I threw it at you. TFC Toys have revealed images of. This is the one which had the. Do you remember there was a Megatron third party, and for some reason they kept on covering the face?
Yeah, that's specifically how I remembered this one, and was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is based off of I believe, G.I. Joe versus Transformers concept design. Dominator Megatron, or STC-02 Tyrant. So this is a G.I. Joe-esque Megatron. Base body is quite stylized. Turns into L-Tank. But also comes with power-up armor to turn him into something with like a lot more bulked up, covered in guns, and with a big rail cannon on his shoulders. I'm very curious to see your take on this guy, because like I'm looking at him and I'm just like, wow, he feels like a Diaclone toy. I mean, like sense? modern Diaclone.
In what sense?
Just like the aesthetic of the vehicle modes, for instance.
Is it just because it has like opening canopies for the tank thing?
It's not just that; it's just like these shapes, like modern Diaclone. Like the you can remove the cannon and have like other versions of the vehicle mode, but like just the like treads with a kind of a blocky shape and canopies and stuff like that. Yeah, that really that's very Diaclone to me. Again, modern Diaclone, very different from old Diaclone.
Yeah.
Also, he comes with are those like face effect parts to make it look like he's screaming blue?
I think it's kind of hard to tell. I think these promotional shots do not do much justice in terms of figuring out the detail on the figure.
What it's supposed to be is like flames coming out of his eyes and his mouth.
Probably.
And then there's one of the powered up forms looks like it's a visor. But
I mean, I'm not sure if these are even real photos or if these are CGI, just because of how it's been photoshopped into the background.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, and like the armor also comes like with a little plane drone as well, and lots of guns. Like I would say, like he looks like a very fun toy to handle. I'm just not sure about the aesthetic.
I wonder if it'll be fun or finicky, just with the amount of add-on parts, because sometimes depending how well things are made, parts being slapped onto toys can be jangly, I suppose.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something to consider.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the actual color scheme, believe it or not, because it's not very Megatron-y. I mean, it's very bright.
It is grey, but more.
It's more like a chromey silver than like a dark kind of gunmetal-y silver. And again, it might look better when it's not been photoshopped to hell. But currently, looking at it, the blacks and the bits of red on the inside, on top of the with yellow as well, and the silver and the blue on the face, it seems a bit messy. There's like, especially with the yellow. I really don't like the yellow on the toy because it's by the bottom of his foot. It's also on his knee. It's also on his thigh. It's also on his chest. And then there's just bits of red everywhere as well. It's a bit too busy, I think, for my liking.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Apart from that, like if it was colored up better, I'm not sure how well it would do as a Megatron, but I think the idea behind it is nice. I think this would, as you mentioned, probably be actually better as a third-party Diaclone figure than a Transformers related product, to be honest. I like how all of his bits of armor can turn into things as well, like his big cannon can turn into a helicopter machine gun turret platform.
Yeah, no,
thing.
it is quite nuts.
Yeah, there's a lot of variety, and he can turn into a 3-cockpit helicopter, a 3-cockpit moon car. And a 3-cockpit, Jesus, tank, and it has a little plane mode, like you said. It seems like there's a lot of options with this thing, and you've sent me even more options of Madgeist.
Yeah,
so it's weird.
It's weird. There's lots of weird going on here.
There is. Yeah, I can't say that I'm a big fan of this Megatron. At least not in these images. Maybe future ones will kind of change my tune on it.
What kind of turns me off a bit, he looks a bit War Within, which is an aesthetic I've never liked.
Is that because you remember reading the War Within story?
I mean, I don't like that story at all, and I think
that's why I said it.
The near terrifying levels of worship that story gets is ridiculous. But I also No, it's just like I've never liked the robot aesthetic in that. I don't think Figueroa people got really into Figueroa's aesthetic back then because like, oh my god, Cybertronian modes, and I'm just like, cool. I came into it years later. I see bad Cybertronian modes.
Okay, yeah.
I don't.
To be fair, it would be it would be a few years until he would do more. Let's call them controversial designs.
Yes, which never got a third-party representation, bar like the Optimus, which got basically the safest one you can do, and Megatron, I suppose, because he did design Bomber Megatron.
Yeah, shockingly, no one's decided to do the scary skeletal faces for them, which I think is a good thing. It is a fucking nightmare. Why can't we relate to these Transformers? Maybe because it looks like they're going to eat you. Oddly enough, I think they would have transferred well over to at least the Megatron drone Kiss Player thing. Legion. That would work.
How have we not got a third-party Legion yet?
Oh, I don't know, Mikey. Maybe it's because of the implications.
No.
Kiss Players has.
If we got a Transformer that you can give we got the third-party Transformer you can give third-party breasts to.
Yes, but that's only boobs. There was no penis tongue.
But I want Kiss Player figures. I want just do Optimus and Marissa or those things. Do the partnerships. I want to see us plumb the depths of crazy. God, I'm not
sure that's gonna happen.
That's gonna be in Legacy. That's gonna be Legacy. Legacy. I'm calling it now. We'll have a Transformers Marissa. Or no, who's the one that was really creepy? Not Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao can do no wrong. The other one. The one who everything happened to with the glasses.
Oh, yeah, I don't know the names. You know it better than I do.
But I remember Xiao Xiao because of Legends. But yeah, do her, because she got partnered with the Auto Trooper and things got really fucking weird.
So what you're saying is Legends is going to go Armada, Energon, Kiss Players, animated.
Yeah, everything must be touched upon.
Oh my god.
And none of this lazy, we did Glit.
Oh my god. Yeah, Glit.
You do... Oh, I did Flip Sides. Oh, we did Rosanna. Do you know what? Rosanna is great, but this is not her time.
Is Rosanna great?
I like Rosanna.
I like the idea of Rosanna.
Rosanna could be a VTuber now. She's an idol.
No, it's true. It's true, yeah. Well, she wouldn't be a VTuber because she's a robot.
Are you saying... No? Can you prove any of them are real? Also Roboco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she has to use a 3D model. Rosanna wouldn't.
That's
Rosanna
what she wants you
robot.
to think. That's what she wants you to think. She's telling you that's a 3D model.
Oh my god! Are you trying to subvert my expectations?
Andy, let me tell you something. What if at the end of your show, your good guy was the bad guy, but without really developing it?
I thought you were gonna say like mankind was the bad guy all along.
Oh man, I love it when the show does that because they always think like, "Oh my god, we're being so clever."
It's
clever. We're on Netflix and we're clever.
What's the clip from Futurama where it's like the scientists created the most evil creature in the universe? It was man.
Oh no, but it was like that's great. It was just like we have created the most evil creature in the universe. Bumps out of it. It was man.
Yep, I love it. It's a good clip.
Futurama is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I heard something recently which was like, would you pick Rick and Morty, Simpsons, South Park, or Family Guy? I'm just like, Futurama every fucking time.
Which part of The Simpsons?
Futurama even then.
No, I wouldn't. I'd probably go with Good Simpsons, but if it was like you'd have to have all of the Simpsons, and if it was then again like, would I have to watch the bad Simpsons? And they were like, yes. I go,
yes, you have to. You always have to. You cannot.
But
stop
there's
at
so
Hank
much
Scorpio.
bad Simpsons.
I will say like it's not like you can get to Hank Scorpio and say, okay, I'm done.
Man, that was a good episode.
That was so good.
That was a really good
Hank
one.
Scorpio is amazing.
Yeah. You like the shirt? Here you go. It's yours now.
Your shirt. Hammock. Everyone has hammocks.
He was a really good boss. Apart
You're gonna
from
die
wanting to
in
take
the
over
cheap
the world.
funeral. I copped him for you, sir. Well done, Homer. He was such a nice guy.
He really was.
He really was.
Would it have really been a terrible idea to let him rule the world?
No, you'd probably be very efficient and everyone would be happy.
Yeah, it seemed like it. I don't know. I don't know. Mikey, let me take you on to the next story, being a 301. We're taking a look at the MDLX Optimus Prime. It's a teaser for MDLX, which I have no idea what that stands for, but it's probably Mega Dong Lover.
It's the same line 64. As the Bumblebee.
Oh, yeah. There's a video in connection with it for the next part of the story, which we'll go on to as well. These are smaller scaled than your usual 3-0 figure and lower priced deluxe offering featuring high-end paint and tons of articulation. This one's obviously on Optimus Prime. Would you be shocked, Mikey, if I was told you it was a G1 inspired version?
No.
Well, it is.
Should be animated. I want that chin.
At least it's a stylized version of Prime.
I like the head sculpt, in all honesty.
I'm not really a big fan of it, personally, but it's different. I'll give it that. It's
getting. I think it's more like Westerner has seen an anime. Is how I'd say that.
If I was gonna clamp it down to a studio, I'd probably pin it to Clamp a little bit. If Clamp was gonna do a robot design, but from a human, you know how I was going to say
Clamp has. Hang on, let's actually confirm this because Clamp has done robot designs. Hang on.
Yeah, they worked on Code Geass. I'm sure.
Code Geass. Well, they did. Yeah, let's see.
I'm mixing a lot of that. But I would say that this is more the
Clamp
human
worked
designs.
on Code Geass. That just strikes me as weird.
Good show. Really like it still.
Yes, you basically want to grow up to be Lelouch.
No, his life sucks. And he's always having to juggle a fuck ton of lies. It's a real fucking pain in the ass. It's a lot of work. It's like, no, I don't want that.
Actually, I know they have action figures, but do they have model kits?
For what? Code Geass?
Yeah.
They had a few model kits, not many though. And the model kits weren't very good. They were very delicate.
No.
I got one of them and I was like, oh, we're not going to be buying any more of these. But no, this Optimus Prime, not a big fan of personally, but at least it isn't just. I mean, it is a G1 Optimus Prime, but it's not just cartoon G1 Optimus Prime, I suppose. So it is different. I guess you could say kind of in the similar style to the Bumblebee that you mentioned, Mikey. Don't have an idea on the pricing or the release or anything like that. But hey, it's an Optimus Prime. He's coming. And sticking with that line of the Mega Dick Lovers Extra Large, we've got that's the name of this line now, by the way. We've got Megatron and Rodimus Prime in the similar kind of weird stylings that they're coming to. We see not proper images of them, they're kind of negative affected versions of them to a point. It looks like Rodimus and or Hot Rod, depending how you. It looks more like Hot Rod. Let's be honest. It looks
like he forgot leg day.
Yeah, that's why I say it's more Hot Rod than Rodimus, because Rodimus is a lot taller. Maybe when we get a good image of the face and we see how liney it is, then I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, fair enough. It's Rodimus then. What do you think of Megatron, Mikey? Because he has a very big fusion goon.
He do. Definitely want to see it in proper, but the outline's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what the head sculpt is going to look like, I think that's good, and it looks bulky enough. But I do want to see it physical. Photo negatives are all well and good, but boy howdy can they look different in person.
And
I
would agree with that.
Rodimus is just kind of reminds me of more recent toys and the proportions and stuff like that, except with giant spoiler. Yeah,
it's a little bit Flame Toy-ish.
Little bit like Flame Toys light.
Yeah. Do you think you'll ever get into the Mega Dick Lovers Extra Large, Mikey?
Not with that roster.
Okay. What do you mean? They've got everybody important. They've got Bumblebee.
Yay.
They got Prime.
Yeah.
They got Rodimus. They got Megatron. Who else do you need?
I'd like to see someone else. Because I've got Flame Toys for them.
Starscream? A Skywarp? Thundercracker with no dog?
Got Flame Toys for that too. Because when it comes to non-transforming, I at least need something aesthetically that's popping enough, and these guys are a little bit too similar to Flame Toys.
Yeah, I would agree.
So I think the Flame Toys Bumblebee is a lot more fun because it comes with all the Action Master gear.
Yeah, it makes it a bit more unique.
Yeah.
You know what? Making a faux Action Master Megatron. When I say faux Action Master, I mean because obviously he came with a giant tank to sit in.
Yeah.
But if you created like a Action Master Megatron and you gave him a strange accessories that kind of nodded towards the tank, that could be quite fun.
Mm-mm.
And if you did a Jazz, you could give him a skateboard.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I've always pictured Jazz on a skateboard.
That's what he came with. That is why he came with this in Action Master, right? I'm not just making that up, right?
I don't remember, but I'm just picturing Jazz on a skateboard now going like tubular.
Yeah, well, he was cool.
Scatman
cool
Crothers dies inside.
Ironic, he did die in real life. Maybe that was the thing that killed him. He saw Jazz with the skateboard. He's like, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm out.
I'm done. Bye. You fucked it. You fucked up, bro. Mikey,
yes.
Do you want to take us on to the second part of our train story?
Woo woo, motherfucker.
Oh my God.
So, Transformers MPG has been revealed. This has been alternately translated as Masterpiece Giant or Masterpiece Gattai. So this is the infamous Raiden we heard about a couple of years ago who disappeared into the middle of nowhere. And yeah, we get our first images of the fully revealed, fully painted Shouki, who is the
he
leader.
fully painted?
Yes.
Oh, weird. I thought that the top of his train mode wasn't painted because it looked like translucent plastic. Is that not the case?
Oh no, the wind fully painted up is what I mean.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Also, in one of these pictures, is doing a sumo pose.
That's in
Doskoi,
character,
the Doskoi pose. Why is he doing Doskoi?
He did that all the time in the show, Mikey.
Did he?
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember. Anyway, we get to see what this guy looks like, some features and everything else. He's going to come with some train track. He opened his train. Oh, it's a Shinkansen Type 0. Opens up so you can stick one of the human characters in the front. It should be said, not to scale.
No.
Not to scale at all. Jesus. He looks pretty posable. We showed up posability, ankles, legs, knees, a whole kit and caboodle. He also looks extremely chunky and a bit kibbly. He can doskoi, and we see him scale. He is going to be somewhat taller than the Masterpiece Sideswipe and Prowl. We get to see his contribution to the combination, which is he's forming the upper torso. No image of the head for Raiden, but hey-oh. Face sculpt's a little unusual.
I kind of like it.
It got kind of a small pinched look to it.
It does. It's not like anime or animation accurate, but I don't think it's bad. Maybe
no.
They did it to make it look a bit more unique. Do you think that's the reason?
Hopefully. Also, he comes with a stand that can go onto the train track, and you can elevate him either certainly in his combined or in his vehicle mode. I'd be curious to see if you can do the whole thing of linking up the 6 trains.
I was going to say, I think each of them are going to come with a stand so you can get them to fly through the sky, which never made any sense, but what the fuck, they're robot space trains, who gives a shit? They can fly through space. Fine.
Exactly. We also have prices. Now, the price on here is misquoted. This is a price including Japanese tax. So,
oh my God.
Quoted here is 19,800 yen. It's been reported that the Amazon Japan prices will probably drop down to about $120. I don't know what that is in yen. So that would be about 12,000 yen, I think.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's 19,800 here. So if you went in right this second, you'd be paying, including Japanese tax, if you were in Japan, 177.84. If you're outside Japan before shipping or middleman prices, it's what is it? Yeah. Oh. Typing. It's $160. So
okay.
18,000 yen. People are freaking out over the price because he's quite short, and if you had to pay, and you even with reduced prices once shipping and everything else comes in, and if you're outside the US, like custom charges, you'll probably pay at least 19,000 yen, I'd say. Raiden could easily, especially with inflation over the next few years, hit $1,000.
Oh God, you're probably right. You mean in total, right? So that's probably why you're going to be paying third-party prices. I would imagine. Absolutely.
I'd be very shocked, especially given the size of the third-party ones. Anyway, this is due out in late June 2022. So people kind of freaking out over the price, right? I know, like, people are going like, "Oh my god, Raiden's 1,000," but the way I'm kind of looking at it as, this is as crazy as most modern Masterpiece prices are. Yeah. I think this has a bit more of an excuse because it's a combiner torso.
Yeah, so they got to make sure it's like a factory safe kind of thing, I suppose.
And like they have to make they have to do like what I would have considered to be impossible as well, to make a functional combining Masterpiece figure. Like I didn't think Takara would have the budget. I also think and I've seen people go like, I don't know why they're doing this. This, why would you release this? Like, I can't imagine I'm buying this. And I would also say like, this is one of those figures Takara is very much not targeting at you.
Yeah. Like Starsaber was not technically targeted at you either.
No,
to be honest.
These are like even more so because this is a train.
Much more so, yeah.
And for anyone who doesn't know, trains are a big thing in Japanese nerd medium.
Do you know why they're a big thing in Japanese nerd medium?
I don't know. I've heard
because they run on time. They're not shit like our
trains.
No,
like if the train says it's showing up at 12:01, it is there at 12:01.
Oh, but... yeah. Like, legit,
and you better be as well.
There are legit apologies and tickets handed out explaining to bosses like, oh, yeah, the train was actually late. You don't believe me? Yeah, they gave me a ticket to prove it.
Yeah.
If your train's late here, it's just like, haha, whatever, bitch.
Yeah. Enjoy your 4-hour wait.
More money, please. Give me monies.
But trains genuinely form a big part of Japanese culture and have for donkey's years.
Yeah, definitely.
And like that's why like Super Sentai has done frequently train robots. Like the most common one people probably know is like the I don't know the Japanese name, but the rail rescues from Lightspeed, which turned into like the super train.
I'd say like that's the only one that looked good. All the other train ones looked pretty shit.
I thought that was the best looking one in that show.
I don't know. I like most of Lightspeed Rescue's designs, but I could see that.
I don't like the last one at all.
Which one's the last one?
The space one.
Oh, the space. No, the space one's shit. Space one's shit. I like the first one. Like the stretchy arms.
Kind of fun. But and that's like they did an entire show based around trains, which was hideous. But trains are a very big thing in Japanese culture, so. A train mech is going to appeal there way the fuck more than it will over here. Like, currently they have the Shinkalion series, which is based entirely around this concept, and it is doing gang fucking busters. To the point where they're getting crossovers with everything from Evangelion to Godzilla. So this is very much a Japanese product for Japanese fans that you have a chance to take part in. So, this is one of those times where just like, if you're a Masterpiece collector, this is lower than what you've been paying for quite a bit of Masterpieces in recent years. And for a combiner, I think it's okay. I think a mistake people are making is thinking of Raiden as an individual and not of the fact they're going to have 6 robots.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
And, people go like, oh, I'm only buying it for Raiden. Yeah, but you'll have Shouki for probably a year more than you'll have most of Raiden.
I think the biggest concern with these, especially with the price increase, is the quality. No, how to phrase this?
The QC?
What's going to be the problem? That's how I'll phrase it. What's going to be the problem with these figures? Because unfortunately, there's been a series of events where each Masterpiece release has something. Even if the toy doesn't explode, it has like kind of scratchy paint. There's always something. No,
you've got to fix the knees. You've got to replace the shoulder parts. You've got to replace this, that, and the other.
I don't honestly remember what the last time it was where I heard or didn't hear a Masterpiece come out and someone didn't have. I didn't
hear anything about RC.
I'm trying to think if Jobby said anything. I don't think he did.
Before that, it was Hound, and Hound had a myriad of problems.
Yeah, he died. He died a lot. Yeah,
Hound wants to kill himself and take you with him.
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah,
but I believe RC was okay.
Okay,
but like this has like all the risks of a Masterpiece figure plus all the risks of combiner.
Yeah, that's an issue. So, definitely an issue.
It's one of those things where like if I was going to get into this, I would feel safer if I saw reviews first. And
it's rough because you can't really do that, can you?
No, not with these, because you need to get your pre-orders in, because this is going to, like, Japan will eat this thing alive.
Oh,
so
yeah, 100%.
This thing is going to be, like, not going to be easy to get on the Western market. And, like, you know, once you bring in middlemen and once you bring in other kinds of shipping and stuff, like, if you want to go Amazon Japan, you need to go some loops. It's going to cost you more money.
I think you could argue that it would be safer if this toy was not a masterpiece, but if they were making it as instead of a masterpiece budget kind of thing, if they were just making it simpler and just making it a retail toy. If they just did that, it would be safer.
Yeah. I'd even, like, make it the next Haslab.
Yeah. I don't think they would. I think if you're going to do a Haslab, you probably want to go with Deathsaurus or something like that.
Yeah, please. God, please. For the love of all that's holy, please. Please.
What's that, an Optimus Prime?
Go to hell!
We'll get onto it. Yeah.
Just do that. You can even call him Deathsaurus if it's Haslab.
I don't think they would, though. I don't think they'd want to have him called Deathsaurus.
No, they'd call him Deathsaurus.
Dez. Actually, no, they might do Dez. They might do Dez because I don't think they'd... Would they be brave enough to do Death?
That's what they call the Combiner Wars one.
Well, Deathsaurus or Deathsaurus?
Deathsaurus.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
And I'm just like, nope, I want Deathsaurus. I want a victory. Like, if they were doing Deathsaurus on the Haslab, I would back it. I just would. Because I fucking love Deathsaurus. I had a great time this week watching some clips of him torturing Leozak. I
find that funny after seeing, like, some of your tweets this week involving, oh god, there are so many things I want this year and I have no money.
No. I did. Yeah. Because I can say it because he's not there and I don't have to worry about him. But I was also like, oh god, if he was, I'm just like, well, I don't need a niece.
That's fair, yeah.
My sister won't miss her after a few weeks.
That's true, yeah.
You'll get at least 100 on the secondary market for her.
I think you could get a bit more. You need to aim higher, not because she's worth more, but because you need more money. So you got to hold out. You know, you don't just go for the first price offer. You know.
True.
Bad, man.
But overall, I think the figure looks good. Like we said when we saw the prototypes, the translucent plastic on this means that a lot of this is paint.
Yeah, it's concerning.
And a lot of those panels are one you're going to have to be handling.
Yeah.
So,
it might be fine.
Yeah, no. If they got kind of the paint job like Dinobot had, completely different thing because he's painted and he's built like a rock.
That's the thing, yeah.
Like also his shoulder wants to eat you, but there is a fix for that at least.
But again, it's like, yeah, we'll be okay.
I shouldn't be spending $250 on a toy and then be told like, just fix this.
Yeah, I mean, it's the reason why me and Mikey never picked up a CM Scope Galgaga, which we mentioned multiple times before, because it was also a toy that wanted to explode. Yeah,
and I remember two of us having a lot of conversations about that thing.
Yeah, because at the time it was the only way to get a Galgaga.
And now there's like bajillion different companies doing it.
The problem is all of those bajillion other options are really expensive.
Yeah, 500 plus.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
I mean, I'd want it a lot more than I'd want a Unicron, but still.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, it's still a bit on the boy side. But yeah, Shouki.
He can point as well. We forgot to mention that. He has the weird hook finger.
Yeah, he's got really big hands. Like, his hands are really massive. I guess for all the groping of RC he can potentially do, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's a thing he does.
I don't remember.
No, I don't think he did, to be honest. I was just saying things. Shall I take us on to the next story, Mikey?
Please.
Alright, this is a quick one, so hold on to your saddles, my buccarinos. We got the Takara Tomy Mall exclusive Generations Select Black Sarek. We have new stock images of it. We also have the price. The price is 30,800 yen, which is, if you're not aware... Yeah, that's 276 US dollars, not smelly Canadian dollars, US dollars. The pre-order period is from the 7th of October, so right now, to the 5th of November, which is in November. It's scheduled for release next March, so if you are desperate for this big boy, he is coming. Remember, he's very, very big.
Yes.
The reason I did not keep my Scorponok was because he was missing one of the flaps inside the toy. Hasbro couldn't do anything about it, so I've never really felt inclined to go back and get a Scorponok. And I think that was one of the last Transformers I bought.
You bought some Beast Wars after that.
But I got a few Beast Wars ones, but I think that
annoyed.
definitely
you were annoyed.
That wore me out.
Yeah,
it's like oh wow,
like I haven't been to GameStop for a year basically because they fucked me over.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, why would you do that when you kind of get fucked around? Granted, that's not Black Zarek's fault. It's just something in the back of my head I look at and I go, if it missed one panel here, I'd be fucked because I couldn't send it back to Japan. Because if I did, it would cost me a crap ton of mahogany.
Yeah, I mean, you can, like, I was going to say, like, if you want Black Zarek, the Hasbro Pulse version is a fair bit cheaper.
Is it? How much is the Hasbro Pulse version?
£160.
Wow, why?
So, $276, and what's that? $160 in dollars.
Because he does look good. We see the images of his new head, the Tyrant Spear.
I mean, it's still $220, but it's still... That is a big price jump for Japan.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I guess they could probably sell it to them more because it is Black Zarek. Sorry, Japan. Any thoughts on the new images all colored up now that we see good images of the head?
I freaking love him.
Yeah, he did look good.
He looks fantastic. He's one I would definitely buy if I had the cash on me right now.
I think the head sculpt's a little bit better, at least for the Black Zarek mode. I think it's a little bit more toon accurate than the Scorponok version that we got, which was more toy, which is fine. I get it.
Definitely, but like I always liked Black Zarek's colors, and the fact you could never even consider buying him, one, because it would, you'd have to sell a car, and two, because when you bought him, you couldn't look at him because he died.
You could snort him.
Yes.
When you bought him. I can't put him on my shelf, but I can have him inside of me.
True.
Don't snort gold plastic dust, kids. I'm gonna. I don't know what it'll do, but I don't imagine it'll be good.
No, I'd be surprised.
Yeah. You know what the problem is with this, Mikey? What's the one thing they don't show you that you should be able to do?
A cape.
No.
I mean, I'm not
Where's
wrong.
the Hydra mode?
True, the infamous Hydra mode. I mean, I'm not sure the toy can do it.
I'm not either. I can't remember. But it's not the point. They should have engineered it so it could have. But yeah, there you go. It's coming out soon. The pre-orders, if you want them, you got to get them in. If you're in Japan, I suppose. If you're on, I don't know what did it say on Hasbro Pulse when you have to pre-order this?
It said delivery. It's still on pre-order, but deliveries are going to start in late December. It said.
Oh, okay.
So might be good for a Christmas buy.
Mikey,
listen,
do you want to
trying to figure out shipping at the moment.
A lot. He's big, so it will be a lot. Do you want to take us on to the next story, Mikey? I don't know what it is. I'm confused.
So this is a weird thing that I did a bit of research on.
Oh, thank God.
So, Takara Kingdom, Ultra Magnus into Optimus Prime, Cabri Deco, and Tensegrity stand stock images have been revealed. So, this is a repaint of the repaint and retool. Oh no, just repaint of the Earthrise Ultra Magnus into Optimus Prime.
Okay.
So the core robot for Ultra Magnus, which had already been retooled, is now repainted. Coming with a Tensegrity stand, which can come in grey, or you can also buy individually Autobot red or Decepticon purple. So, do you have any idea what a Tensegrity stand is?
Is it basically them? Oh no, I actually do know what it is now that I'm looking at it. It's because I think I've seen this done with Lego before, where you basically have a part on the bottom and a part on the top, and through wizardry and science, you basically have the parts float thanks to these bits of string, kind of pulling the two separate plates apart, right? So it looks like it's hovering. It's
so
science woo-woo.
What it's basically doing, so you need basically 4 tensions. So it can be, you can, as long as there's some sort of like decent tension in them, like sometimes Lego chains work, but in this case they'll be using tension-based wires. So it only works if there's one in the middle, which is like here it's on that hook. The hook part, so there's a wire in between the two of them, and then there's 3 wires around the circumference of the circle. And basically that makes it so it can't fall over, because the tension of the string is being pulled down in the center, and the tension of the side are preventing it from tipping. So it creates the illusion of it floating, even though it's just being held up by physics. So I actually, because I already knew a little bit about them, but I watched a really interesting video about how to make a Tensegrity stand at home. And they went into a really good explanation of the physics of these Lego as well. And also, like, since it's 3 dimensions, if you took away one of those wires, the whole thing would fall on its face. But you can get furniture and stuff out of this. It's weird.
I do have a question, though.
Yes.
Why is there making this kind of awful looking stand? Because it looks kind of... It doesn't, like, the physics behind it look neat. But I've seen Lego designs that are way better, that are this thing, but way more interesting. This looks kind of cheapy. The
stand is very, very basic, and I really hate that claw arm. That claw arm does not look good.
No, it's the old school Figuarts stand claw.
Yeah, and I don't see... Like, there's a picture of it here, of it holding Optimus up, and I would put money down that's not with the claw. I bet that's a... Yeah, I'm looking now. It's a rod.
That has to be a peg.
It's a rod. There's a rod that goes up, and that goes up into his buttocks.
Yeah, of course.
Which means that claw is going to fall apart like all those claws do.
Yep.
I don't know why it exists.
Neither do I.
It's going through Takara, I believe, Takara Tomy, and Dengeki Hobbies involved. So you can get it with the silver base and the Optimus. So for $67,
mm-hmm.
and you can get the bases individually, the red or the purple ones, for $17. Both will be out in March. Pre-orders are available from October 7th. But it feels like someone had the idea for the Integrity stand, and just sort of went, "Hey, can we get a toy to go with this?" And then they went, "What do we have? We haven't. We have that Ultra Magnus Core robot. Okay.
Why do we have them lying around? Why do we just have extras, Mikey?
Well, fuck it. Why not?
Yeah, I guess.
The thing is, it's not a good-looking robot.
No.
I mean, it's not a good-looking robot for Magnus. It only looks good when you arm it up, if you want that at Magnus. This is one of those things where I say the Siege did it way better when they did Optimus, because they retooled the whole thing and made him a bit more Galaxy Force. But, like, his proportions are weird.
Yeah, because he's meant to have armor. He's meant to combine with armor. He's not meant to just be on his own.
Do you know who
being
this
on his own is like a bonus?
Do you know who this is? Do you know who he's turned into?
Fatmus Prime.
Yeah, he turned into Energon for Optimus Prime.
A little bit.
So why didn't they repaint him as him? Would have made sense. I'd have done it.
Would it have made sense, Mikey? Or would we have just been looking at it going, really?
Look at his tiny head!
I don't think this would have worked either way.
I don't think that's the reality.
I don't even know why this figure was chosen. Or this mold.
Really feels like it's just like we have a mold. Like, we want to include a figure with this because for some reason someone wants to. I guess
it had to be Optimus Prime, didn't it? It had to be.
Yeah, mate. Or like, who else would you really have done for a repaint? Like, for a significant repaint that makes it like, oh my god, this is the only way to get this figure and these stands.
Yeah, well, yeah. And even then, I don't know why this version of this Optimus Prime is the one you'd want when there are better versions within, Kingdom and Earthrise, which you probably want over this.
I'd want Action Master Thundercracker, but...
yeah, I mean...
who is it playing?
Market, I
Which
don't
flies?
think the Japanese have the same love for Action Master Thundercracker.
Yeah, but you sell it as a Gridman toy. Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird to me.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I don't want it, by the way. The stand's an amusing novelty, but that is literally all it is.
Yeah, I think it's more interesting, the stand, and even then it's the physics behind the stand, more so than how the stand's presented. I'd say, again, if you want a fancy stand that looks like that, maybe go to IKEA. You'd probably find something there, or just build a Lego one. That'll do you as well. So, let me see. Shall I take the next story as well? I'll take the next story because it's a quickie.
I'm not yawning, you're yawning.
Super 7, they're doing the reaction series, and we have a Target exclusive, and they're doing a repaint of Megatron and Optimus Prime, and you're going to shit your pants. It's the Golden Lagoon version, so they're just coloured gold. They do have new card backing, so I guess that's something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not for me.
No, I'm good.
I think a lot of people like these reaction lines, otherwise they wouldn't keep making them, but they've never been for me, and they're not even a good novelty. Both figures are targeted, pun intended, fuck you whoever wrote this, to be released on February the 6th, 2022. So if you want them, you can get them next year, I suppose. Mikey, I'm not going to insult you by asking you what your opinion is, because I assume you don't have an opinion, or you don't care. So why don't you tell us, Mikey, about the fundraising Starsaber?
Yeah, Starsaber, because we've missed out in the last couple of weeks, Starsaber went through some leaps and bounds. They finally revealed what was the 20,000 tier subscription incentive. And it was the shield from that one episode of the show. That also came with the Masterpiece toy, which they really pushed as fixing his base mode, which a lot of people got really excited about.
I did think that was funny, because I saw those images of like people go, "Oh, the base mode looks really good now," and I was like,
no, it doesn't.
Does it look? I mean, it covers a hole.
It still looks like Starsaber is having some sort of fit.
Yeah, I mean, it's as good as Starsaber's base mode has ever been, and Star Convoys has ever been, and that's not. Because they're both really quite bad base modes. You split the legs off to the side.
What we call afterthought.
I think it's even insulting to call it an afterthought. Yeah, it's just someone dropped the toy and went, base mode, done.
And it's just like, I just find people's reaction to that a bit silly, to be honest. But,
people are happy. People can be excited. Let people be happy, Mikey.
No. With him, however, they did include repaints of of the 2-pack of Stakeout and Hothead, I want to say. Micromasters into Holly and
the other one.
The red fire truck doctor fella.
That's what I said.
Who I remember from the show, but don't really remember. Like a lot of people. I know he had a name because he was part of like Holly's weird squad.
I remember Holly, and that's it.
Holly had like 3 guys who followed him around, and Gripper.
Yeah, one was an ambulance. It was basically the rescue Micromaster team.
Yeah.
Apart from it missed one for some reason.
So this is a repainted version to match the show model, who was slightly different colours to Stakeout.
Oh, they didn't use the boat for some reason. That's right. Sorry.
No, they don't have a boat Micromaster, do they?
Yeah. I was part of the rescue team.
I mean, because this is just repaints of the.
Current,
for
those
I
guys,
do think they add a little bit more. I agree with some people. I'd rather had like some sort of like retool of something into Jan, or like Jan's weird manga robot.
Well, would you have had it like flesh-colored skin, like the Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I still want them. Also, wow, my waveform just went nuts. But I think it's better to have 2 little characters from the show and say that there's your incentive rather than here's the shield at 20,000. But
what about the stand, Mikey?
Yeah. But anyway, in the last 3 days, this went into a big jump. Maybe they were adding. I don't know if they've added all the retailer orders yet or whatever. But it did hit today, just a couple of hours ago. It hit 20,000. It's currently at 20,515 with 3 hours to go.
We knew it was going to happen, right? Because we said this is how it usually works out.
Yeah, but I didn't think it would get past 18, to be honest.
Well, egg on your face.
Yeah. So, that means when you get this figure, it will come with the V-Lock candle, it will come with the stand, and it will come with the Micromasters. But yeah, Starsaber and Victory Leo and their weird combination, which is Victory Saber, are fully funded and will be out to ye next year or early 2023. I was curious about something though, and I wanted to see, right? So, because I was like, will this be the model they do from now on? Smaller, cheaper figures that rather than going like with the like crazy big ones, because like they got so many more orders. Yeah. They got more than twice the number of orders for Starsaber and Victory Load than they did for Unicron. So I was kind of curious.
Which is funny because he's far less popular or known.
Yeah. Well. But I decided to check out. Well, I also suppose like once the Japanese market got involved.
Oh yeah. They were going to carry the West, to be fair, in a lot of ways. I'm sure.
So in terms of money brought in, not looking at like costs or anything like that, or how much it's going to cost Hasbro in the long run or whatever. Money brought in is 3.5 million.
Okay.
For Starsaber, it's 7 million or so for Unicron. Just because even with the small number of orders in comparison, the figure's just so much more expensive.
Yeah.
So I think we're probably going to see Haslab still do a lot of like big figures, but
I suppose you got to ask yourself like the costs of making Unicron versus the cost of making this, because the profit, like even though the profits or the numbers that you mentioned there might not be as big as Unicron, the price to make these two might be it has to be significantly lower than Unicron.
Yes.
So maybe that means the profit margin was better on this. We don't know.
We don't know. We'll never know. They'll never tell us. But hey, if you put in a backer order for Victory Saber, he is going to be on your way in the next year or so. So well done, you. Hopefully,
if you
I really
buy
do.
one for me and Mikey. I'm
too.
not going to say no.
I mean, I'm not in love with him, but I'll take him.
Sure.
But I will say, really hope that Haslab does a better job of keeping their backers informed as we go forward, because they were really bad with Unicron.
They were
really bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, Andy, do you have any further thoughts on Victory Saber?
I hope it's good when it comes out. I hope doesn't have any issues. That's about it. It'd be nice if it wasn't a Haslab exclusive.
Yeah, I hope they give Chris Sabat one.
I think Chris Sabat is rich enough to pay for one himself.
Yeah, but I mean, he's so excited.
I think like that'd be like saying, man, I hope they give a free one to Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos is very excited about this.
That's true, but Bezos could pay for 5 Unicrons. And I mean the production of Unicrons as well. I don't mean just the figure, I mean making it.
Jeff Bezos is so wealthy he can buy 5! I'll have 2 Unicrons!
Yeah, he could literally become Mayor Burger from the episode. He could buy 2 cities easily.
Andy, take us on to leaks with weird logos that look like they escaped from the mid-90s.
Yeah, Transformers Legacy. Transformers Legacy with a logo that literally, at least to my eyes, looks like some of the Marvel Legends stuff. It looks very, very similar. We talked about them releasing what the next Titan class figure was going to be, and it was going to be the Metroplex from Cybertron. We have an image from somewhere. I don't know where this image is actually
Rogue
from.
Channel F22 preview.
Obviously.
Someone has lost a job over this.
Or is going to get sued.
Considering there's an email address scattered across it.
Yeah.
csutton2@familydollar.com.
Yeah. Metroplex, however, we've got the informations and the features about this Titan class figure. I'm not going to read you the numbers because the numbers are dumb. This is okay. I'll let you know. It's the F2986.
Woo!
Yeah, it's my favorite number 2. Features. It's going to be 22 inches. It's going to be a triple change of figure.
Hang on now.
We have all 3 modes on there. We'll talk about them.
Modes?
It features a robot mode, a workbot mode, and an excavator mode. Previously, it only had an excavator mode, so the new mode is a workbot mode.
The workbot mode was there.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah, there was engineering for it. It was just like a mid-transformation step. It was kind of like
I didn't know
like Primus's vehicle mode.
Okay, I didn't know. Oh well, egg on my face.
Yeah,
includes a large axe.
In the show.
A bucket scoop for accessories. Includes a FOP custom illustration. FOP? Alright. It's going to be retailing for $189.99, which I think is the usual Titan price, right? Or is that more?
I think that's a bit more. Because I think
you might be right.
Zarek's like 160, but
yeah, 160 or 150 or something like that.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Listen, inflation.
Yeah. To a point. I don't think you should inflate that much, but I don't know. I'm not.
Maybe you shouldn't inflate that much.
No, COVID's been mean, Mikey.
Put the cake down.
We've got the OSD, which I guess is the shipping date. And that's the 8th. Oh no, this is American. This is going to be stupid American wise, isn't it? Yeah, God. So it's going to be the 1st of. Will it be American date? Okay, so this will either be dumb American date or like Chad UK dates. If it's Chad UK dates, it'll be the 8th of January, which I don't think will be the case, to be honest. Or it will be August next year.
Yes.
Yay! Wow, look at my big brain. Yeah, August next year. There'll also be 2 per case, as everybody's very interested in knowing. Packaging will be a closed box, which again is in tune. Mikey, you mentioned this guy last time. You even showed some interest in him as he was one of your boys from back in the day.
One of the ones I spent many an hour in Smith's holding and staring at and just going like, do I walk out with you?
That's right. That's right.
I didn't even like the show.
Would you like a Titans Class 1?
I mean, at the moment, I kind of wanted just to be awkward because, man, people are mad.
Why are people mad? Like, honestly, I don't know why. That isn't like a sarcastic, ooh.
No, but there's a lot of bad blood going on about this guy.
Why?
From what I can tell, because he's not G1, if I'm completely honest.
No. Please, no. That's not that.
Yeah.
Really?
Like, apparently people, when thought the leak, even though the leaks were going like Cybertron Metroplex, as in the show.
Obviously.
We're expecting a redo of G1.
No.
Despite the fact we were being told multiple times it wasn't that.
And yeah, as far as I remember, I'm pretty sure we reported it was Cybertron.
Yeah.
Because that was the information that everybody had. Cybertron.
And then people said, like, well, he doesn't transform. All he does is sort of lie down and curl up a bit and have some parts turn over. And then, like, the workbot mode got people annoyed because it's a mid-transformation step. And then people got annoyed because they said, oh, I don't like how the robot mode looks. And then everyone was very, very angry. And then people who liked it started coming back and saying, like, oh, because Fortress Maximus transforms so much. And then it got vicious.
I mean, okay, if you don't like the way it looks, too bad. That's how he looked in the show. We don't have, in all honesty, we don't have great images of the robot. It's kind of blurry, but it's got the silhouette of how he looked like in the show. So that's how he looked.
He's got the proportions. The workbot mode actually looks a bit more compact than the one from the original toy.
I don't remember what that was. I saw this and thought, it does look like a mid-step transformation. I wonder how much they actually had to dedicate to it. Probably not much.
Not much.
Yeah. So I guess you could say maybe you're losing a little bit in terms of what he does in terms of a transformer, but then, like, I suppose, like they say, or like some people said, how much transforming did the Fort Max do, or Metroplex G1 do? And again, it's not much. Probably just because of their size. I think it would have been better if these figures could have done a bit more transforming instead of just their feature being Davey Big Yo. But that's not the world we live in. People like big things. No. So.
I mean, I think he looks, from what I can see, he looks fine. I want to see better pictures, obviously. But I like the fact they now split the weapon in two.
Oh, was it one part before, was it?
Yeah. It was, and it had a lot of clicky-clacky bits. Doing it as two separate... I'm curious about him. Like, I won't say I'm, like, flipping my lid over him or anything like that, but I'm definitely curious about him. And again, not a G1 figure. As I said to someone during the week, I'd be quite happy if they did a whole line of completely new characters. But if we are going to be referential, let's reference other shit.
Yeah.
Because I've seen enough Optimus Primes.
Oh my god. Yeah, to be fair though, that's not going to go away.
No, but at least they can do other Optimus Primes.
Yeah, hopefully it'll change to other Primes.
Yeah, please, for the love... Like, Laser Prime is a good start, but we can do better.
Yeah. Because to be fair with Laser Prime, I don't think you can really improve on that design because it's still a very, very good Transformer.
Yep. All you can really do is reference it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else there, Mikey?
No, I'm good. You got any opinion?
I mean, I'm not really too fussed on it, but then again, like I said, the Scorponok kind of blew my load on, like, oh, well, this is just a pain in the ass. I'm not going to bother anymore then. Especially for the amount of money it was. Metroplex, either actually never really did a huge amount for me. The only way that you'd really get me in is if you did a new mode for G1 Metroplex and just go, no, we're not doing Metroplex, we're doing Metro Titan. That would be the only thing that might really tempt me. I think just generally, the Titan figures just aren't my cup. I think they're just too big. I don't like them just because they're big. I'd prefer them to be more interesting Transformers, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
But, whatever. That's not, most people like them big, so, Mikey! Last time, a few weeks back, we talked about Puffer and Road Rage, or whatever it's called.
Yep.
We found out this week that they're part of the Golden Disc Collection, and then we got 3 reveals of the rest of the Golden Disc Collection. And what the story is about, Mikey?
Yeah.
What's it about, and who were the 3
reveals? The story's weird.
It is. Yeah.
So the characters revealed are Jackpot with sights, Mutant Tigertron and Terrorsaur. Obviously, people are kind of more excited about that last one.
The Tigertron.
Well, I mean, weirdly enough, I've seen people being very mean to Tigertron.
We'll talk about that.
I like him better than regular Tiger.
I hate it.
I like it better.
No.
Because it's got more of a paint job, to be completely honest. We'll get to it. But yeah, so the basic story for these figures is that the Quantum Surge from Beast Wars has drawn in people from different parts of time, including Huffer and Pipes, who have fused into Puffer.
This.
Yep.
Don't
and Road Rage, who's literally the GoBot. And Jackpot's been drawn in as well. And then it kills all the Beast Wars cast except for Tigertron, who gets mutated, and Pterosaur, who it actually ends up protecting, who comes back as Fire Rodan, basically. And then after a series of adventures, they reset things. The Quantum Surge happens like it does in Beast Wars. Pterosaur dies and Tigertron doesn't turn orange.
It's not the legend story, is it?
Not quite.
It's dumb, but not in like a fun way. It's just dumb in a dumb way. At least if you ask me. I always find that stories that involve time travel specifically usually get messy, or it's because the writers don't have any ideas of what else they can do, so they just go, oh, time travel, that'll do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It especially happens a lot with like internet shows. Like, whoa, fuck, we've done everything, time travel now, I guess.
Yeah, it's a bit much. But yeah, so anyway, we got Jackpot, who is a retool of Studio Series Jazz, which I saw someone get kind of annoyed about because it's why are you doing a Generations release of a Studio Series figure? And I did a lot of blinking.
What?
I did a lot of blinking. And
you should have done that already, right?
Well, like, that's because, like... Okay, here's this big secret, guys, in case you haven't realized. Studio Series 86 only exists because they had a list of toys they wanted to release and couldn't fit them all into one line.
No, that can't be true.
That's why Galvatron is in one line, but Scourge is in the other.
No. Oh, sorry, do you mean the Sweeps or do you mean Scourge?
Yeah, and that's why Jazz is over there when everyone else is over here.
What?
And that's why RC is getting re-released on the fucking Studio Series line next year as well.
For the third time.
For the third time, despite the fact no one wants it the first or the second time.
No.
Anyway, so it's a new head tool and a new repaint. And Sights is a blue repaint of Pterosaur. I don't think there's anything new on him. It's weird and I don't like it.
What don't you like about it?
Basically, like... So... It's basically a shitter version of Ricochet, in my mind. And I really don't like that head sculpt.
Oh, I like... now, is it the head sculpt or is it the design? Because I like the design of Jackpot's head sculpt generally. I don't think they've recreated it well here.
I do not think it recreated well. And I just find, like... Just having, like, the way the blue, the black and the yellow are laid out, I'm not in love with. I just don't like him. I don't think the mold lends... the mold almost lends itself well to Jackpot because that's kind of how he looked. But I think it's... I just don't like that mold. I don't think... Yeah,
I think
no one does
about it like last week or the week before, and you told me, like you just did here, like nobody likes this mold, generally speaking. And it doesn't look like a very good mold. It looks, I don't know, weak, basic...
Nah, and if you want a Jackpot, your only other option is a BotCon release of the animated toy, I believe.
No, the G1 version.
Who
doesn't transform, granted.
Yeah. Oh no, the devil.
Yes.
So yeah. Next to him, we have Tigertron, who is an orange tiger. They've redone him into orange, and he's got the Cheetor Tigertron mutant head. Obviously, like scaled up and everything else. Obviously, the mold has all the problems that the Tigertron mold has, which is it's an upscale of what's pretty widely agreed to be the weakest Kingdom figure.
I mean, I'd like to hear an argument where that's not the case.
Yeah.
Because I'd be fascinated to hear what
a lot of people don't like Cheetor, or at least a lot of people want to like Cheetor but have failed miserably, would be another way of putting it.
The
thing is, I just like him more than... I don't like the mutant head, but I've never liked the mutant head. But I think, like, the paint job is better in the Tiger mode and has, like, more delineation and stuff like that. I always found, like, honestly, I found the white tiger design very lazy because it basically meant you just like voop, white, voop, stripes. I just like him better, honestly. I'm sure you're about to make a very convincing argument that I'm wrong, but we both know how this is going to play out. Okay. I think the promo photos are not good.
They don't help. I'm pretty sure about that.
What's wrong with the tiger's legs that they're posing him like that?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, Andy, your dissenting opinion.
Right. So the reason I don't like this specifically is I think like the colors make sense. It looks like the colors that you would give to a tiger or Bengal tiger, whatever fucking kind of tiger this is meant to be, right? My issue is, do you remember those really awful kind of KO transforming toys that are like animals that turn into really shitty robots?
I had
like
one of those.
Really, really crappy robots.
I had one of those long before I had Transformers.
Yeah, for some reason, I think it's because of the color of the plastic and then the color of the off blue. I don't know what kind of blue you'd call that, to be honest, but it's not a blue. It's like a teal or a turquoise or something lame. The combination of that makes me think KO. It looks like a KO colored figure or like an unofficial Transformer. It doesn't look like a proper color scheme. That maybe it's because you've got the yellow, then you've got this kind of off-white creamy color, and then you've got the weird blue color. I don't think these colors mesh well together. The orange for the tiger mode, that makes sense. The cream for the white bits of the tiger, again, makes sense. I think we probably don't want to carry that through to the robot mode as much, and I don't think it was a wise choice to use that blue. To me, it looks like a knockoff.
No, I definitely don't like the blue. I don't like the blue.
No, it was not a good contrast color. I don't know what color you'd use, but not that.
I don't know. I mean, I think one of the things, like, the Cheetor mold has some really odd design choices in it, in robot mode. And I think, like, doing these, like, the blue especially, but the overall color scheme highlights that a lot more.
Yeah.
Which does contribute to, like, that knockoff look.
Yeah, you might be right. I wonder, I don't think that, like, out of the four of them, I think this would probably do the worst, right?
Just like individually? Oh, definitely.
Worst. On its own.
And, like the other one's like, oh, Jackpot looks a bit G1. Oh, Puffer, that's weird. Road Rage and Puffer, yeah, cool. This is just like, okay, who the fuck?
Yeah, the reason I say this will do worse is because people are already kind of, it's not G1, kind of. At least that's how you portray, some people's attitudes.
Humans are terrible humans.
So the fact that Jackpot and Puffer and the road person, handler, whatever it's called, are more G1-y aligned, I think they'll do better. I think the last one will probably do the best.
Yeah, he's already sold out in Hasbro Pulse. He sold out within the first day. I don't know if he's still up.
I'm shocked.
Is he still up on Amazon?
Man, it's almost like this guy was a main character of a TV show or something.
Yeah, and it's really weird to be doing him as a really limited exclusive release.
Yeah. Oh, so do you want to talk about him?
He's still available. He's still available on Amazon if you're interested. So yeah, we have a reveal of Pterosaur, who is a retool, a pretty heavy retool. No real shared parts, but like shared skeleton kind of jazz of Airraiser.
It's kind of what you said. I think you said that's what it was going to be like months ago, and I was like, I don't know, Mikey. And it's like,
that's what I predicted anyway. So robot mode is very on point for the show. Like,
I think as close as he can get. He's still got his wings, which he didn't have in the show. But what the fuck are you going to do with them?
Yeah, and like that's something from the toy. If you want to go, like, if you need a justification, that's how the toy looked. So yeah, Pteranodon mode. I feel attacked.
It's when you consider that it's using the transformation bones of Airraiser, you look at the Pteranodon mode and you go, it definitely is.
Yeah, oh yeah, but like, oh boy, does Airraiser cover it up? But maybe it's Airraiser's colors that cover it better.
Maybe.
But like, I really don't like the head.
I like the head. It's not like a real one,
but
which
what's
I
weird
suppose
to
they
me,
should be going for.
What's weird to me is that with all the other ones, like this is very similar to the two. It's not identical by any means to the Toon head, but it's more along that aesthetic. Whereas everyone else, they've gone like more and more realistic with all the beast sculpts.
See, even then, I'd say the bird head mode or the pterodactyl, whatever head mode, it's not like accurate to the cartoon either.
It looks like I'm not kidding when I say it looks a bit like it should be Rodan.
I see. I see.
And also,
more
he
as...
breathes fire now. So
is that canon?
Yeah, he breathes fire.
That's dumb.
Also,
That's
I really hope those R's are not sculpted. Are those R's sculpted on the toy?
The what?
He's got R and L sculpted on his wings.
Oh, they'll be sculpted on, yeah.
Are they always there? Because I'd like them not to be.
No, they'll always be there.
Now I've noticed them. They're very distracting.
They'll always be there. It's for production. It'll be for, like, knowing what parts are which parts.
It's really distracting now I've noticed them. Yeah, like, the robot mode I think is a really good one. I just don't like the beast mode.
You know what they should do, Mikey?
What?
They should recolor this guy into the Giant Claw.
Yes! Everyone should be the Giant Claw. I do think, I do feel pretty comfortable completely ignoring this guy because, I'm just going to admit it now. Does anyone really like Pterosaur?
What do you mean, like?
Like, he was there for season 1.
I like his design.
His design was fine.
I mean, I don't like him because he didn't. To be fair, he didn't have a lot of episodes. He had like 2 or 3 episodes.
He had a season,
and none of them was stellar.
He had a season where he was one of the main villains.
No, he didn't.
He was. He was at least as prominent as Scorponok, and I think Scorponok's more memorable.
No, to be fair, he was more prominent than Scorponok.
Actually, yeah, that's the thing. He was more prominent than Scorponok, and Scorponok's still more memorable in my opinion.
That's why it's no. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say he's like Pterosaur's less memorable because Pterosaur, like I said, had at least 2 or 3 episodes where he was the main focus.
We need a Starscream.
I mean, there was a reason, Mikey, that they killed off him and Scorponok.
Yeah, because no one would miss them, and they wanted to save Waspinator.
I don't think it was that. I don't think it's because no one.
No, that's literally why.
Because they didn't. I would have gone with because they didn't do anything with them.
No,
Pterosaur was just like you said, Starscream.
They needed
what do you want? Get rid of
They
them.
needed to kill someone off, and Hasbro wanted them to kill Waspinator, and they were having a fit over the idea. And they said, like, listen, we've never done anything with these characters. No one cares if they live or die. Because they based it off of a lot of fan followings and stuff like that.
Sure.
So the Scorponok and Pterosaur got sacrificed because no one cared, so that Waspinator could live,
as God intended.
Because they didn't have the budget to bring in an extra beast like his transmetal form, so they were going to kill off Waspinator.
Yeah.
And they were just like, listen, no, we'll kill the other 2. They're fine. No one cares.
And yes, Waspinator still didn't get a transmetal form.
Nope, because Waspinator's life is pain.
That's true.
But I'd never wanted him to change anyway. But yeah, like I think the robot mode is solid, and I really like the head sculpt and everything else. So I think if you're looking for that final part of the Beast Wars cast, him, Tarantulas next year by the sounds of it, Inferno, you should be able to at least have all of season 1.
I think he's missing some colours in robot mode, you know. I think the robot mode could really have done with a bit more paint to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the bit in the chest, but not much else actually apart from the silver.
Yeah, it's very light on the silver as well. It almost looks like there needs to be a few more, like maybe black in there somewhere or something just to break it up. Are you suggesting as well that Tarantulas and Inferno are going to be in this weird, like, Hasbro Pulse only?
Well, no, they've been listed in Legacy.
That's what I thought, yeah. That's why I was confused why you phrased it like that. I thought you were suggesting that they were only going to be in here, and I was like, oh, yeah.
No.
What?
They've been listed in mainline as releases for Legacy, so...
Because that would be really annoying if they decided, like, screw it, we'll just make G1 the one...
But it also means, it's still kind of annoying, because that means, like, hey, Pterosaur, you're not even important enough to get a mainline release. You know who did? Yeah. Scorponok.
It would have made more sense to do, like, the shitty Pterosaur BotCon repaint that they had, you know, where it's just, flat
fractal
dinosaur colours kind of thing.
Or I'd want Laserbeak, because Laserbeak is a G2 Pteranodon.
Well, yeah, that could work as well, yeah.
And you could do him as Hydra as well. You could just re-release him in a different box and say it was Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra. See? Relevance.
Yeah, crossover, Marvel, boom.
Yay. Anyway, take us on.
Alright, last bit of news we have, Mr. Mikey, is we have a TFCon Baltimore guest. It's Xavier Paul.
Cadeau.
I don't know.
Cadeau.
Yeah, Cadeau, thank you. Who voiced Dead End in Transformers Cyberverse. I saw this design and honestly thought it was Sideswipe.
Nope, it's Dead End. He's really, really good.
Why does he look like Sideswipe?
They added he's got a more of a sports car race mode.
But why does his head look like a Sideswipe head?
Oh, that I can't tell you. But I can tell you, like, Dead End, great. Dead End's like, okay. Dead End hates life and everyone in it. and also hates Astrotrain, and Astrotrain hates him.
Okay, all right.
So there is a lot of stuff going on there. So I like him.
Cool.
I like his voice as well. I think he's one of the better voice actors in the show. So I think it's really cool. I think it's really good that a Cyberverse actor is getting the attention of the conventions.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. So remember, Baltimore, TFCon. Boom. There you go.
Boom.
If you want to see the lad. So I guess we got to move on to Mikey. What you been up to this week? What you done fun? Also, did you do anything last week that was worth mentioning?
Yes, I made a list. Most of this I'm leaving out just because of like time and everything else. But because it's been a few weeks, and also it's anime new season. So finished building the F90 Unit 2. That's a really fun toy. A little bit loose in places, but overall like really good and like looks dynamic in any pose.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of those ones, like this thing has feckin' presence. I really, really like it. I'm not sure I'd say like rush out and get it just because it is an exclusive. I mean, you'll be paying that little bit extra, but definitely the purple version looks awesome. I will probably try to pick up at least one of the add-on kits at some point, but I'm in no rush to.
Okay.
I watched. Did I mention I watched Star Wars Visionaries? I think I did.
I can't remember. No, I think you did.
Yeah. So anyway,
I remember hearing you talk about it.
Yeah. I started and over the last 2 weeks finished Psychonauts, the original game.
Oh my god! Wow, you blasted through it.
It's only about 10-13 hours.
Oh, okay.
No, I think I finished it in 11 hours. And it was only a tenner on PS Store, so like I think that's fair value. Like it's a very charming game. Wonderful world, enjoyable characters, very stylized. Art style is great. It's so weird at times. Oh, those poor squirrels. And yeah, it's just like that very 2000s style of platformer. For good and for ill. Like, it's got, like, definitely has level design problems. I found the last boss level very frustrating in how it was laid out.
Okay.
Because you just can't, like, if anything happened, you then would have to go through the whole thing again. And it needed more markers and as to telling you, like, what to do, what power to use sometimes and stuff like that.
Right. It wasn't intuitive.
No. And it did give an option, like, you could use an item to get hints. But you're in the middle of a boss fight. You're not thinking, I need to stop and use the hint item.
Yeah.
But like, it's so unusual. Like, it's got combat, but combat is such an insignificant portion of it.
It's a platformer combat, really, isn't it? It's not like Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, but say. Like for this game, it's like the world. It's about moving through the world and the characters. And I have fantastic voice cast, fantastic. Like some very big names in there. But yeah, no, There's a VR game, which is about an hour or so. I don't have a VR system. I'm going to watch the VR game at some point, and I'm definitely going to give Psychonauts 2 a go. But yeah, like, I'm not one of those guys who are going like, oh my god, it's an amazing game, because it's not an amazing game. But it's a great experience.
It's one of those experiences that we kind of don't get anymore, right? These kind of games don't exist. Did you ever play Brutal Legend? No,
I was looking. It used to be on PS Now, but I ignored it, and now I went looking for it again, and they took it down.
I did. I remember playing it when it originally came out, and I didn't like the melding of real-time strategy, because the real-time strategy bits just don't work unless you're on a computer. And it was a third-person real-time strategy, so it became a little bit more messy once again. When it wasn't that, it was interesting. I think all of Double Fine's games were always, at the very least, visually really interesting. At the very least. They've always done really great stories as well, generally for games as well, at least compelling stuff to keep you hooked.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing that Double Fine's always kind of maybe flopped around a little bit on is usually the gameplay and how the game works as an entertainment experience, you know?
Yeah. It's why Psychonauts is a cult classic and not a classic.
Yeah. It's probably going to be the same with Psychonauts 2 as well, to be honest.
Yeah, well, like, I didn't even know Psychonauts 2 was coming out until, like, a couple of weeks ago, before it came out.
Was it because Silver was playing it? Is that why?
No, you mentioned it to me.
Oh, okay. All right, I see how it is.
I watched a bit of Silver's playthrough, and I was just like, I'm not going to keep on going because I want to play it myself now.
Yeah.
And, like, as much fun as it would be to watch her, like, just completely lose her mind over it, it would be just like, this is a game I want to experience myself.
How far did you watch it go with it?
2 or 3 hours.
Whereabouts up to? Because I watched more.
Lobato, they did stuff with Lobato, and then they got to the island.
Did they get into the second mine jump?
His family had just shown up.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you are. Yeah.
But yeah. Also, Dinosauria, it's a series of shorts, animated shorts on YouTube. Episode 2 came out. Still good. I'm not in the, like, a lot of the dinosaur crowd are, like, blown the fuck away by this. I'm kind of like, because they don't watch a lot of animation and they have not experienced something like this. And also it's like, it's not doing dinosaurs as like science fiction monsters. It's doing them as dinosaurs and as animals. Okay. Although I would say episode 2 had a science fiction-y moment where like one starts calling for help and like a herd of Triceratops shows up. I'm just like, okay, I get the whole like symbiosis thing, but that's not what's going on here. So like it's for 3D animation, I think it's good. It's very smooth, and some very interesting original scenarios. Great soundtrack. I'm just like not like, oh my god, I'm blown away. I just think like this is a good, solid product.
How does it stand up to? Granted, very different products on the show, but not knowing about them. How does it stand next to Camp Cretaceous or whatever the Jurassic Park thing on Netflix is?
Just there, it's not really comparable.
Okay,
because this is like nature documentary but animation.
Oh, okay, right.
You know, so it's not comparable.
Is it more like David Attenborough's Walking with Dinosaurs?
Yeah, except with no, like it's like something like that, but with no dialogue.
Okay, right.
It's all music and visuals, which is the type of storytelling I love. Like if I had to compare it to anything, it would be Age of Reptiles, the comic.
Not the Good Dinosaur.
No. Anywho, Revice episodes 5 and 6 continues to be entertaining and interesting. Introduced a new writer, Kamen Rider Evil. Yes,
yeah.
The subtly named, who named himself.
Oh my god! Did he not name himself Edgelord?
No. Well, he kind of dresses like one.
Oh, okay, yeah. I saw the suit design and I was like, oh, Edgelordy, I like it.
Yeah, he's got an interesting character background because obviously, like, all the powers play off of the inner demon idea. So he's a different take, and they've confirmed another writer being introduced next week, which is Kamen Rider Demons, who is you can probably guess the pattern. Evil is bat themed. Demons is spider themed. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a snake themed one as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Because writer references, which makes Revice kind of stand out because it's two guys as a T-Rex.
Yeah.
Also, like a bit of character development for wacky scientist guy to add a bit more sinister to him, and some fun. Like this episode was more comedy, despite a lot of stuff with Evil. It was definitely more comedy based.
Okay.
Which is fine. I enjoyed it. So Revice, I'm continuing to enjoy. Let's see. Digimon Adventure 2020 wrapped up. I'm not sorry to see it go.
How long has that been going on for?
65, 70 episodes.
Wow, okay. It doesn't feel like you've talked about it for a long, long time.
No, because I didn't enjoy it, really. I only watched the last few episodes to get a sense of where it, like, did the ending improve. No. Of those episodes, over half of them are one-off Monster of the Week. We're introducing a new evolution episode.
Oh.
Many of those evolutions don't get any showcase or only appear in one episode.
Okay.
Like, including the two big ones they introduced, which was Blitzgreymon and Crestgarurumon, who are one-off appearances in fairly low-budget episodes. Blitzgreymon doesn't even appear in an episode about him.
Oh.
He appears as a tail-end idea in someone else's episode.
Okay.
And you never see them again until the very end where they get a reference, which, if you hadn't been paying attention to the show, would seem very odd. In my opinion. Story's a mess. Character folk is a mess. Animation jumps from very good in small doses to bad. Very bad. And usually very bad.
Consistent? Is it
very bad at key
bad?
moments. Like, I would say, like, it's consistent to a point, but then it's like it gets bad in moments where it needs to be good.
Oh,
and
really?
People have made the argument like, well, a lot of people working this are working on One Piece and working a lot of other shonens, and I'm just like, that's great, but that doesn't stop that's like saying like, oh, it's understandable why the early episode of Dragon Ball Super looks shite. True, but they still look shite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so just the story was a mess, so I'm not happy. I'm glad to see it go. But that's relevant because Digimon Ghost Game kicked off, which is a Ghost Hunter style Digimon series.
Okay. Is it a game or is it a show?
Show.
Okay.
New series about a boy. His father disappears. Turns out his father went to the digital world. Digimon comes over. His Digimon is a little Triceratops thingy. And then there's also these hologram ghosts, because at this stage, like, it's very, like, one of those, 5 minutes into the future. Like, Japan uses holograms for all its advertising and publicities and stuff like that. They're, like, a really big part of just culture. So hologram ghosts are Digimon who are attacking people for various reasons. And it's definitely playing up the horror aspect. It's, like, I heard one person go, like, it's not horror because I wasn't scared. And I'm just like, if I was a 9 or 10-year-old, I'd be a bit freaked out by some of these visuals.
Well, just because you're not scared of it doesn't mean it's not horror.
Yeah, it's just like it's horror targeted at an age group.
If you have a phobia of cute fluffy bunnies, that's horror to you, but it doesn't mean it. Yeah, what a weird argument.
Yeah, but it's it's very much like, this is my target audience, and these are visuals that will make my target audience uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Which is like, and they're not like horrific in a real sense. It's not like Tamer's level of like, oh god, but it's, it is very much like, if you've seen any kind of horror animes or anything like that, you would recognize a lot of the keys. And so far, 2 episodes down, good writing.
Okay.
So far, I'm gonna keep checking it out and see how it goes, but so far decent, and Digimon designs aren't too bad, the new ones, and a lot of returning faces. Like I said, new anime season has in general kicked off. There's actually quite a lot I want to check out in this season. Ooh. So I've only seen 4, how many have I seen? 4 that I can remember off the top of my head now. 86 Part 2 started. If you enjoyed 86 Part 1, you will enjoy Part 2. It's kicked off after a bit of a time skip. There's been some design changes for characters, some situational stuff. It's all very spoiler laden, so I won't go into it in much more detail. But if you enjoyed Part 1, you'll be into Part 2. Komi-san Can't Communicate, which is a slice of life anime about a very popular girl in school. Everyone thinks is like a mysterious beauty who just can't talk to anyone, and about her learning to communicate with people. I would say check it out for one reason at least, is that the animation is friggin' gorgeous.
Yeah, I've heard it's got some really good sexy animation in there.
Like, smooth, my god, it's like, it's that Kobayashi thing again of just like, why is it this pretty?
Because it's a slice of life. That's why.
Why is her walking by this cat so well done?
Slice of life, bro. Yeah, there's something about Japan and the animation industry. They really fucking love their slice of lives, and they put a lot of money into them. Maybe it's cheaper to make, so they can just filter it all into the animation.
Then there's Faraway Paladin, which I'm at least interested in the concept of. It's an isekai, but it's one of those isekai means absolute. It's one of those ones where the isekai part means absolutely nothing. Okay. Which is kind of my least favorite one, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Like, one of the things I like about like Shield Hero and ReZero is that the isekai thing is a big thing.
It should be important.
Yeah, whereas this is like, I was born in another body in another world kind of story. Yeah. But I'm kind of interested in the premise because it's about a boy who's growing up being raised by undead. A mummy, a ghost, and a skeleton. Oh. And he's learning about their lives and things they don't want to tell him and things they don't want to tell each other.
I don't know why, but that premise sounds like Big Bad Beetleborgs to me.
Yeah. So yeah, first episode was like low-key, no action or anything like that of note, but it was interesting, and I'll definitely at least watch episode 2, see if it keeps up. And the last one of note is Tact OP Destiny. Have you heard of this?
No.
So, it is set in a world after an alien invasion, which was responded to by another alien invasion, and basically, we can't use music because it attracts creatures called D2s. Okay. They hate human creations, and they especially hate music. Your main character is a sort of like reclusive dickhead type who is a pianist who really wants to play music, and is basically traveling to New York for his perspective, because it will get him to the symphony hall to play music, despite the fact, like, if he sees something musical, he'll try and play it, despite the fact it will attract monsters. He's protected by, like, a servant-style character called what are they called? Musarch? Who basically she drains his life force. He gets a conductor stick, and she gets like a flower-themed battle costume.
Okay.
And she goes fights the monsters. And they're accompanied by Anna, who is the most normal one of the three and is just like desperately screaming shut up every 5 minutes. And she is the one kind of trying keeping him on focus. The story's weird. Like not like revolutionary. It's hitting a lot of the tropes of these kind of like me and my partner combat stuff. However, man, do you need to watch episode 1.
Why?
Because it's done by Mappa and Madhouse.
Oh, so it's pretty.
It's exceptionally pretty. The action scenes are fantastic. They've even got like SD moments of like telling a story that caught me completely off guard. It almost looked like panty and stocking.
Wow.
And man, every shot is so good looking. Like, I don't know about the story yet. Like, it's charming in its own way so far. I don't know if it'll like make me excited going forward, but oh my god, it's so pretty. Like, I'm not. It's hard to overstate how good looking this is. So I would say you definitely want to check it out. And that's me, really. What about you, Andy?
Not a huge amount. Just been busy with work and stuff. I did get a box from Jai, which I'm now having to pay off the Demon Lord Jai. It was a box of Masters of the Universe classic figures. So in said box was Mosquito, Shadow Weaver, Mantera, Catra, Snakeface, and Dragoman. And yeah, they're all really good. Dragoman's especially good. It was a creation from the sculptors who wanted to just do their own figure. And they went to town on him. He looks great. He's got big, impressive dragon wings. He's got really impressive dragon head. And they reused a load of other parts to make him really fancy. And I also got the weapon accessory set, which Jai basically bullied me into. Because it was like, well, yeah, otherwise, you won't get his fire whip or you won't get his big fire shield. I was like, I would like his fire whip and fire shield because he wasn't complete without them. So now he's really cool. Yeah, I mean, they're Masters of the Universe classic figures, so they do everything that you'd expect the classics figures to do. They're very well sculpted, and very, very good. I just now need to pay off the man before he breaks my kneecaps, as you do.
Yeah, he will.
Aye. I've only got 2 more payments left to do, so that's fine. Only 2 more, and then the monkey's off my back. I don't think I've really... live. Exactly. I don't really think I've done anything watch-wise. I don't think I've watched anything desperately new or sexy. I haven't watched any... I watched 1 episode from the new season of... I can't remember what it's called. Maybe Mikey knows. It's about a girl who's randomly just having a good old life, and then boom, she can start seeing the dead. Like spooky ghosts.
Oh god. Is it called Miroko-chan?
Maybe.
Because I saw that on a list of things, and I was trying to figure out if I'd try watching it.
I watched it. There wasn't a lot to it. There was a lot of like fan service shots, which was really out of place. I was like, all right, fair enough. But I like the designs of the ghost. But after 1 episode, I obviously have no idea where the show's fucking going. She just like midway through the episode started seeing ghosts and is trying to ignore them. So I have no idea what is she gonna try to live with seeing the ghosts? Is she going to try and make contact with the ghosts? I don't know what the idea behind the story is going to be. If I remember, I'm going to check out some more episodes at some point. But it looked fine, It looked like a bog standard anime, I'd say, for the most part, Nothing too special there. I don't really think I've done anything else worth talking about. Oh, I read comics, but we'll be discussing them on the comic show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we'll be recording next week at some point, and so sometime next week you'll get a comic show for the month. And I think that's about it, Mr. Mikey. That's all I've done. That's all I've got. I do have some questiones, so we may as well hit them up, or at least comments. We got one from Simon Lech. Michael Halpernin wrote the Bible for the original... Oh, this was for the Masters show. Masters of the Universe show that we did. For the original show in late 1982. He wrote this eon-spanning fantasy tale, which was then promptly ignored by nearly every writer. Oh, that's sad. A condensed version of his story was adapted into the opening 3-parter of the 2000X show. Oh, well, there you go. It's a nice bit of info. We got a two-part message from Mr. Logan Paul, the Sugar Bear.
Sugar Bear.
He goes. This is in connection with 2000X. Love 2000X. Wish there was some love for the new adventures, though, as that pushed far enough away from the original, but remained fun. I would say the new adventures, from the bits I've seen in the recent 10 years or so, are a bit too much of a standard, like, 90s cartoon. Like, nothing really stood out about it to me when I watched it. And I really found, when I watched it, I really found the three scientists horrifically annoying. They were some of the worst annoying characters of the time. Like, worse than T-Bob, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Because there were three of them. Did you ever see New Adventures, Mikey?
Yeah.
Did you like the scientists?
No.
I also wish the Skeletor design wasn't as weird as it was. I like the Skeletor characterization in the show.
He's got a weird hat.
I don't mind the hat. It's the fact that they gave him eyeballs, basically. And they really softened down the skull aspect to his face. Like, it barely looks like he's got a skeleton face. It's such a strange design. You know. In other news, Mr. Paul says, the concerns over Scott McNeil's Scottish accent could go off the chart when you considered he played a Scotsman in the flesh as a relative of Duncan MacLeod in the Highlander series.
What?
Kilt, Sapron, floppy hat, be afraid.
What?
See, I remember that. I think wasn't Scott McNeil in the Flash as like a villain or like as a generic thug.
All I can remember is Scott McNeil was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation
as a live action dude or a voice.
He was the hunter guy.
I don't remember, thankfully.
Bone Crusher or Bone Saw or something like that.
Was he ready?
Western animation. I want live action. He was in Flash in season 1, episode 2. I do not remember.
Yeah, I was right.
He was Highlander Robert MacLeod. In Highlander the series, which is a show I remember watching but don't remember anything about. Simon Bonesteel. That's who he was in Ninja Turtles.
Is this him?
Simon. He had a lot of. I remember the accent really well. Mostly because it's just quality. Like crazy Scott McNeil. Yeah. It's I do not remember him in Flash or Highlander.
See, I'll tell you this. I was put off from ever watching Highlander because of the fucking dreadful cartoon.
Well, it went for 6 seasons.
But the live action show? Really?
Yeah, 119 episodes. I remember the cartoon because everyone rode around on like ostrich things. Yeah,
I hated that show. I thought the designs were boring. And I remember generally watching it and being bored. It wasn't freaky like Phantom 2091 or whatever, where it was just like horrific skeleton people with flesh draped over their bones.
Yep.
That was a nightmare show. That's what happens when you let the French design things. It's a nightmare.
By Gaumont Multimedia. So this this is French. The animated, the animated. Wow, that went for 2 series with 40 episodes. Wow.
What, the Highlander cartoon?
Yeah.
Really? 40 episodes? Goddamn.
40 episodes with Quentin MacLeod. I remember Quentin MacLeod.
Was that the gingerhead kid for the main character?
Hang on. Yeah, and he was accompanied by Ramirez, who wasn't that Sean Connery's character?
Yeah. See, I remember what the bad guy looked like from that show, and I thought, he looked really lame.
Wait, didn't he die?
Oh, Mikey, do you think that really matters?
Feel like it would be relevant.
Why?
Why do I remember there being a dragon in this?
I mean, there probably was. I wouldn't be shocked if there was. There's lots of things. I remember
there being a dragon, but it was all future tech stuff, so I don't remember.
And post-apocalyptic as well.
Yeah.
It was future tech, post-apocalyptic, because, it was the style of the time. It still is, I suppose.
True.
Do you have any questions for us, Mikey, from
the people? I
do have a
couple, but I've got the head.
Oh my god, okay. Well, fair enough. Yeah, get fucked, I suppose. Says
get fucked, normal people. I have shit to do. I have like a backlog of 2 or 3 questions that I do need to get through, and I will when I have more time.
Hateful Mikey. Well, Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
Space! You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paler, and you can send us an email on the moonbase2@gmail.com, and you can contact us on our Moonbase2 Twitter, and on Facebook and Libsyn and everywhere else, really. And yeah, do send in stuff. I do read it, and I do plan to actually deal with it. I just like, yeah, life.
Oh my god.
Knife. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter as Decayed Andy. You can find me on Twitch as Decayed Andy as well.
I miss CCTV TFW. He was cool.
No, you don't. No one missed that.
He was a cool dude.
No, he wasn't. There's no need to lie. Jesus Christ. You can find me on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can also find us on patreon.com/moonbase2. And if you do $2 each month, you get the extended version of From the Files of Tigertron 2. You also get the Moonbase Woo Woo, where hopefully this month, if I can get it sorted out, we'll be talking about Halloween stuff at Disney or in Florida at the theme parks, hopefully.
Who wit? Although if it's Halloween and Disney, I'm kind of guessing I know who.
Yes, this is if things get arranged. If things can't get sorted out, there'll be something else, but it'll be me and Dimooch.
Damooch.
The Moocher. Yeah, so that's hopefully what'll be coming. Otherwise, I'll figure out something to do later. Halloween related, of course.
Yes.
You can find us on the ccbunker.weebly.com as well if you want to go and get us that way. Mentioned everything. I think that's us done then, Mikey, yeah?
Yep.
Right, then thank you everybody for coming on by. We'll see you next week, and maybe we'll actually answer your questions if Mike wasn't so hateful.
I don't hate you. I love you all, especially those of you who have very nice asses. You know who you are.
Bye.